Hello. I don't know what the time is because I just decided I'd go for it. So I don't know if it's like 8 o'clock or what. Let me just have a little check. Put you on the ocean drum. There's a clue of what's to come. And it wasn't stable. Oh, 8:01. 8:01. Okay, awesome. Well, because I know there'll be people who are coming on specifically at 8 o'clock who'll be on time, I'm actually going to just crack on and get on with it. So Daisy, when and if you get to listen to this, I hope that you're in your snuggle spot and I hope you're all cozy. And anyone that was there over the amazing 2 sessions that we had, hey Alex, I'm definitely talking to you right now when I say anyone that was there over the amazing 2 sessions we had this weekend. The energy of this really is to support what we did in person for those that couldn't be there in person but still want to come along with us for the ride. And if we'd had time this weekend, I completely done this for us, this meditation, but we just didn't have time because there was already so much that we needed to do. There's a bit of a funny light, isn't there? I don't know where that's coming from. My inner light is like blinding right now. Check it out. It's a bit tricky. I'm having to sit outside and hold my iPad in the air, even though I want to hold my ocean drum really, because Mark is next door listening to the football and I'm a bit worried that if I do it in my gong room he's going to shout out and it will kind of destroy all the beautiful things we're trying to create. So I'm going to just get started. Yeah, for apologies for those of you that were here at the weekend, because you're basically going to hear my little thoughts on it all again. So maybe that'll be useful, I don't know. Hopefully it will, who knows. I've got my little wand here to help. It always helps. So I posted last week about the new triple new moon supermoons that were happening. The first of which was on the 13th, so 5 days ago now. So we definitely are moving into a new kind of energy phase. But I think the teachings and understandings for this energy is still massively relevant, and anyone getting involved today, tomorrow, next day, because it's a supermoon, it's still, the energy's still definitely lingering and hanging around, and I felt it today, like lots of intensity happening today that I felt and witnessed firsthand. So basically I posted about these 3 intense energy periods that are happening at the moment. It's going to last for 2 months. It will start to, the final of the 3 moons will be on the 11th of August. And then after that we'll still be in the energy portal, but it will then shift away after that. I don't know how many days, like probably a week, 2 weeks after that, it will start to shift. So a lot of us have been feeling a real heaviness and intensity for the first 6 months of this year. And that's kind of going to come to a head for many people in the next 2 months. And we kind of have 2 choices with that. We get to stay in the struggle, or we get to choose the path, which is what I want to help midwife and shepherd anyone who wants to go there. I want to be there with you, holding your hand, taking you there too, skipping along. Hey Kat, thanks for coming on. Just seen I got chocolate brownie on my tooth. I was eating chocolate brownies earlier. Winner. Yeah, so we've kind of got 2 choices, I think, with these energies. If we resist, it will persist. It will get stronger because it's trying to get our attention. But surrendering isn't always easy, and I hope that's where my skill set comes in and my gifts and talents come in to help to hold you energetically as you make that shift. Obviously I get to do that in person when people are lucky enough to come to my events, but I also want to be available via modern technology for free for anyone who can't get there or can't afford to get there but still needs and wants to do this work. So with the intensity of the energy with this first new moon, which is in Gemini, it is bringing up a lot of stuff for people that is uncomfortable and perhaps unpleasant. But it's stuff that, for many of us, doesn't resonate with who we are anymore. And when we resist what's being brought up, when we suppress it, when we try and, for me, I'm terrible. I love drinking and I love food, and TV. So those would be my go-tos when I want to suppress emotion that I don't want to deal with. That's the easiest way to push it down and avoid it, basically, for me. So many of us have our own avoidance techniques, and some of them can masquerade as healthy, like excessive exercise and things like that. But actually, they're just a way for us to avoid feeling completely the uncomfortable darkness within us, which we all have. We live in a polaric universe. There's night and day. It's just how it is. And the thing about all of our own darkness and all of our own shadow at this particular time is that it's asking to be brought up. It's coming to the surface, and it's an amazing opportunity to dissolve it if we learn how to surrender and just be present with it without running or letting it overwhelm us. And I said at the weekend that in my mind I use the analogy of kind of like a glass of champagne. I really like champagne. Glass of champagne. So if you shake it and try and keep the lid on, everything's going to blow at some stage. But when you pour it gently, lovingly, slowly, all of this darkness is like the bubbles of the champagne just gently coming to the surface, and if we watch them without trying to control them, they come up, they're gone. Okay, so that's like an analogy of the way I'm understanding it at the moment through my own experience and through people that I work with closely and talk to. So anything that you try and resist at this time, you're going to keep carrying, and it's going to be like that champagne that you keep the lid on and you shake. It will erupt at some point because it's not going anywhere. But now is an amazing time to gently open the lid, open the bottle and the cork, and pour the champagne. So when we are able to surrender to this uncomfortable stuff, it moves through us. And it might move like a wave again and again and again, but what we notice is that it gets softer and softer. And I just think it just occurred to me now that it'd probably be really useful actually to do some of the kind of movement techniques that I use personally to help with these things. I've got a couple that are really good. But today what I'm going to do is offer you a guided meditation, and I will put in the comments what time the meditation starts, so that if you need to come back to it again and again and again, you don't have to listen to the preamble. You can just go straight to the start of the meditation. So coming back to the 3 super new moons, the Gemini one that we're in at the moment is about speaking our truth and finding our life's purpose. Life's purpose is one of my favourite topics because I have this belief, and always have, that we all come here with something to do, and that when we find that thing, we feel that sense of fulfillment, and it may or may not be work. Like, some of us are lucky enough that we get paid to do what we came here to do. Some of us find that in other ways. Some of us create beautiful things to share with the world, and we don't want any money for it. We just want to create those things. Some of us will, like, there's this amazing Oprah Winfrey quote where she talks about her purpose is to uplift and empower people, but her job is to interview people. However, her job allows her to serve her purpose. So we're being asked at this time, or not asked, we're being invited, and we have the opportunity to allow those bubbles to surface and allow these other things, these other gifts to come through at the same time. And there's one more thing I wanted to talk about actually that's really important. So the other thing to bear in mind at this time, and the other reason I'm doing this is because what we focus on grows. So whilst all of this, the darker side is being brought to the surface, if we focus on our own perceived inadequacies, the things we don't like about ourselves that are being brought up, the things that we would rather no one else knew about us, if we focus on what, I hate the word negative and positive because it's all just on a spectrum, but if we focus on the darker side of things and stay in that vibration, that's what we're going to continue to attract. So with this attitude of surrender, it's allowing that to move through, but it's also allowing ourselves to be in a position where we acknowledge our own light as well, and acknowledge that maybe things have moved on from where we were. So you may be still attracting negative things into your life, but actually you're feeling like you're in a really good place. And so these 3 supermoons are going to give a really amazing opportunity to kind of shift away from that, so that you're attracting the things that resonate with who you are now, rather than where you've come from or what you've experienced in the past. So over the course of the 3 moons, it's going to be an amazing opportunity to really transition in your life experience, especially for the end of this year, for the last 6 months of this year, to start bringing in the things that you really deserve and desire and that resonate with who you are. So perhaps you long for a partner that really values you, but you keep attracting people that disrespect you or don't see you for who you are and all those things. And by working with the energies of these moons, it's an opportunity to start to start to attract what resonates with what you really desire. I hope that makes sense. I know I've gone off on one, but I just really want to bring anyone along that wants to come. That's all there is to it. That's my only intention. So the first, I'm going to be doing 3 of these guided meditations. This is the first one, and it's about surrender. The second one's going to be release, and that will be at the same time that I do my yoga and gong, so it'll be middle of July. And the third one will be on the 3rd moon, and I believe that is going to be on transformation. So there's a potential for a really beautiful journey over the next few months, 2 months, which I'm really excited about. So at this point, if I was in class, I'd say, any questions? But I'm not in class. So I think we'll get down and dirty. Let's do this. Let me just have a little sip of crystal water. Oh, hippie to the max. There we go. Okay. So what I'd like you to do, if you haven't already, get really comfortable. And that doesn't mean that you need to have your back straight. It means you need to be really comfortable. And whilst we do this, don't worry if your mind throws up so many thoughts and you think, I don't feel like I've really relaxed when I should have been relaxing. It's okay. It just means that your mind needed that spaciousness that we create with the meditation and visualization to process all that stuff. And even if you get lost in your own trains of thought, that doesn't matter either. It just means those needed your attention, and you can come back. You can do it again and you'll get something different from it. So get really comfortable, and I'm going to close my eyes now because it helps me to be fully present in what I'm bringing through. Close your eyes now. And just give your toes a little wriggle wherever they are. The dear extremities of your body. And then maybe wriggle the ankles round. And if you can wiggle your knees from side to side, then doing that. And maybe clench your butt and release. Clench your butt. Clench, 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 and release. And again, last time. Clench, 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 and release. And then moving up, notice your belly. Notice your chest. Notice your right hand, your right arm, your right shoulder, your left hand, your left arm, your left shoulder. Let your neck feel heavier. Let the jaw relax so that it comes, teeth separate, and you feel that sense of Let the eyes soften back into your skull. Let the wrinkles of your forehead, the creases, just smooth out, and just scan through your body. Feet are heavy, legs are heavy, bottom is heavy, pelvis is heavy, belly is heavy, arms are heavy, chest and shoulders are heavy, neck is heavy, face is heavy and relaxed. Your whole body is heavy and relaxed. Your whole body is heavy and relaxed, and you feel so deeply comfortable and at home in your skin. And you start to notice your breath. You start to notice how it goes in and out of your body, really subtly at first, but it feels so good and so soothing that you start to deepen it. And then you notice the subtle sensations of an expansion in the chest and the ribs as you breathe in, and a contraction and softening as you breathe out. Breathing in, deepening the breath down, opening the ribs into the belly. Breathing out, the belly falls, the ribs knit back together, and you notice that you're empty again. And just carry on like this, seeing if you can make every inhale a bit smoother, a bit more effortless, a little bit deeper. And seeing if every time you breathe out, you notice that your body just surrenders that little bit more. Every point in the body that is holding and gripping to keep you where you are just melts ever so slightly every time you breathe out. So you breathe in and you feel full and vibrant, but you breathe out and you feel complete surrender and ease. You breathe in and you feel full and vibrant, and you breathe out and you feel complete surrender and ease. And it's like the breath is coming like a wave over you. It washes in, it washes out, going at your own pace. A wave in, a wave out, a wave in, a wave out, a wave in, a wave out. And you notice that suddenly you feel completely different. You know that you've come home and you're ready to come on this journey with me. We're going to journey together, and we'll hold hands and make our way to the beautiful beach. We're skipping and laughing, and we notice that there's a huge, beautiful old oak broadleaf forest to our left. Oh, it looks so inviting. You just know that there's magic in there. And then you become aware as we skip together, happily, of the crashing of the waves on our right. We're walking down or skipping down a beautiful path together. And in the distance we start to see steps made of ancient stones heading down onto the beach. As we get to the steps, I lead the way, going slowly. The stones are cool. The ancient woodland is protectively behind us. The ancient woodland is protectively behind us. And we see the ocean in front of us. The steps cool under our feet. And then the sand, which is so warm. We start to notice now the sea. It's very gentle, but the sea is waving in and out, and in and out. And we look at each other and we know it's time to go into the waves. So we walk through the warm sand as it trickles between our toes. And we get to the edge of the clear, azure, sparkling ocean, with its waves dancing in and out, and in and out. And together, laughing, we get into the warm, salty ocean. We've already felt the incredible salt air on our skin, cleansing, healing, holding us. And the water is salty and clear and warm. And we know it's time to lie back. The waves hold us and carry us, and we surrender. We surrender. We surrender. We bob on the surface. The perfect warm sun warming our skin and our faces as we bob. It's effortless, this surrender. The waves take us, but they also keep us safe. We float on the surface, warm, together, safe. And everything passes beneath us without a care in the world. We know that from this place of surrender, we are held. We are safe. And that we can handle anything that comes our way. Bobbing gently, supported by the ocean and the watery elements. The sun warming our skin, and it feels so good feels so light and so weightless. And we just float there. We float and float and float until we start to realize it's time to come back. But we know that this place, with the perfect sun, the azure waves, the sparkling break like diamonds at the shore on the golden sand, we know it's here whenever we need it. Whenever we need to surrender, we close our eyes and we come back to this place. And we feel how it feels to bob on the surface and float. Here we are together, just floating for the last few moments before we gently make our way back to the golden sand. And as we emerge from the sea behind us, we realize that as we floated, we were cleansed and everything was washed away. Everything was washed away that was no longer needed. We feel renewed. We feel reborn. We remember what it's like to be held in complete love as we stand on the edge of the water and it laps us lovingly with our feet pressing into the cold or the cool wet sand, and laughing and smiling and holding hands again. We run carefree like children back up to those ancient stone steps, knowing that somehow this place was made just for us and that it's always there. And at the steps now, we know that we're leaving our sacred space, but we can come back any time that we need to. I'm going to lead and you follow me as we take step after step off the sand onto the cool, ancient rock that somehow makes us feel so grounded, so strong in ourselves, so protected, because we see the fierceness of Mother Earth beneath us and we remember she crafted us and we have that fierceness too. Back at the path now, we see the ancient woodland in front of us with all its magic and mystery, and we know that one day we'll be going there as well. But for now, with the beach on our left and the wood on our right, we make our way back. We start to notice our body again in the room that we're in. We start to draw the breath down more purposefully into the body, so we start to come back. But we remember that that place is always available. And that feeling of surrendering to bob on top of the waves, rather than fighting and submerging ourselves, going against the current of the waves. That's the energy that we're working with at the moment. When you're ready, start to open and flicker the eyes. Wriggle the body any way that you need to, and just start to come back. I hope you enjoyed that, everyone. If you feel for support over these next couple of months, if you feel like journaling, beautiful, do it. If you feel like taking loads of baths with Epsom salts and rose petals or lavender or whatever, do it. If you feel like coming to yoga and gong, do it, obviously. If you feel like you need to be out in nature and have powerful spots, do it. Do it, do it, do it. And if anything comes to you, any movement, any breath, go with it and let it out. It really is an incredible opportunity for transformation over the next few months, so I really hope I can help you ride those waves. Yeah, I hope this was useful. And if you need to watch it again, absolutely do. Yeah, okay folks, have a happy, I don't know what day it is right now, Monday. Have a happy Monday. Big love. Bye.